In this video, GOAL24 represents the top 10 players who had issues with extra pounds. Jeroen Verhoeven, 197 centimeters, 103 kilograms. Throughout his career, Jeroen was often mocked by opposite fans that nicknamed him Pizza Man due to his very non-football form. Apparently, the yard rule, put a fatty between the posts, led Verhoeven to the Eredivisie and the Europa League. Despite the extra weight, Verhoeven had pretty good reaction. Besides, he chose the position properly, which is why he didn't have to jump that often. He even became the goalkeeper of Ajax for 3 seasons, and the Spartak fans would surely remember him in the Europa League. Wayne Shaw, 190 centimeters, 150 kilograms. Here we have another overweight goalkeeper who was pretty hyped once. Wayne Shaw spent his entire career in the lower British divisions, but in 2017 his Sutton United sensationally got to the round of last 16 of the FA Cup, where they met Arsenal. Shaw was already 45 when he was substitute goalkeeper, so on the 83rd minute of the match he did something that was as stupid as you can get. Right during the game he polished off the whole pie on the bench. For this, he was removed from football for 2 months, as the bookmakers accepted bets for Shaw eating something during the match. Wayne didn't grieve for too long. Soon afterwards, a series of bakeries offered him a position of pies taster. Andy Reid, 170 centimeters, 90 kilograms. At the beginning of his career, Andy Reid was a pretty fast and mobile midfielder. He even showed up at Tottenham and played in the Premier League for Sunderland and Blackpool. However, by the age of 30, he started gaining weight really fast. As a result, his weight exceeded 90 kilos at some point, despite the player being only 170 centimeters tall. Nevertheless, Reid continued to play the box-to-box midfielder, rushing from his own penalty box to the opponents. He was called Fatty at home, but the Irish love Andy to this day. I mean, look at him. Just a nice guy from the nearest pub. Ailton, 180 centimeters, 93 kilograms. Many Brazilians like Ronaldinho and Carvalho had problems with overweight, but Ailton used his weight on purpose. He said that those extra pounds did not bother him at all. On the contrary, thanks to them, Ailton could really push the defenders, which made him a pretty cool forward given the nice sprint speed and dribbling skills. As a result, in the 2003-2004 seasons, he was the first legionnaire in the history of the Bundesliga who became the leading goal scorer. Adebayo Akinfenwa, 181 centimeters, 108 kilograms. Adebayo was a FIFA legend and the most powerful player in England. Now Adebayo's weight is made up of his huge muscles, but this was not always the case. 10 years ago, Akinfenwa was really fat and was constantly mocked by the tribunes. The forward tried to lose weight really hard, but couldn't succeed. Then he decided to settle in the gym and started to turn fat into muscles. And he did it! Now Akinfenwa is 36 and he still plays football professionally. He scored over 160 goals during his career and is considered a real legend, even despite the fact that he never played in the Premier League. Ronaldo, 183 centimeters, 96 kilograms. Problems with knees, excess weight, a series of severe injuries would bury the career of any player, but Ronaldo didn't give up. Nibbler was struggling with metabolic disorders his entire life, therefore his weight always exceeded 80 kilos. During the best years of his career, he weighed 85-90 kilos, which did not prevent him from scoring and doing magic on the field. Adriano, 190 centimeters, 101 kilogram. Adriano's excessive weight was the result of huge problems with the regime. He impressed everybody with his game at Inter, but after his father died, he let football slide and began to drown his sorrows in drink. In Italy, they decided to have no truck with such an attacker and sold him back to Brazil. Now, a timid Adriano can be seen with a group of not the most pleasant criminals with Kalashnikov assault rifles. Ferenc Puskás, 172 centimeters, 90 kilograms. This legendary Hungarian who built an unbelievable career in Real Madrid never heard somebody saying "bag of bones" to him. The working weight of Puskás was 75 to 80 kilos, which did not prevent him from scoring some unreal numbers of balls. There were about 1,000 of them during his career. Puskás came to Real Madrid at 31, finished playing at 40, having a pretty huge belly at the end of his career. But they turned a blind eye to it even at the best club of the world of that time. After all, Ferenc was a genius. Henrik Mkhitaryan, 178 centimeters, 85 kilograms. Well, now Henrik's form is alright, just like throughout his entire career, but everyone surely remember that photo from Manchester United Twitter in 2017, where Mkhitaryan represented a new kit for the season with a prominent belly. It's obvious that during the holidays in Armenia, Henrik just couldn't resist the food offered to him in almost every home. Mkhitaryan had a good rest that summer, but he quickly got back on full form and started bouncing again. Gonzalo Higuaín, 184 centimeters, 89 kilograms. The poor fellow Higuaín has been criticized during his entire career for laziness, being overweight, his terrible play for the national team, moving from Napoli to Juventus, and so on. It was mocked the most in the summer of 2016 after moving to Turin, when Argentinians showed up at the first training after the holidays with the obvious belly. Naples were joking that he had a bag of new Juve salary under his jersey. It may seem that Gonzalo still has a few kilos of excess weight, but it doesn't really bother him too much. He's just big-boned, as they say. İlkay Gündoğan, 180 centimeters, 100 kilograms. İlkay Gündoğan didn't have such excuse. In 2014, he suffered a back injury and spent almost a year wandering from hospital to hospital. When he returned to the trainings, Jurgen Klopp's job had probably dropped when he saw İlkay. I love a Turkish drink in which we mix Fanta and Coca-Cola and Chicago pizza with a thick dough, the one that is sold in Domino's. Also, I really love a good nap, said Gündoğan. It is clear that he couldn't play in the Bundesliga with such a belly. That's why Gündoğan lost weight, got back on full form, and became the champion of England with Manchester City soon. And now we have a question for you guys. During the 2013-14 season, Messi gained extra weight. According to some people in Barcelona, Leo often ate this meal. What exactly was it? We hope you enjoy. Do not forget to give a thumbs up and write down your comments. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.